a chance to win VIP seats for our television shows on Sunday. All right, Bowman fans, pick out your favorite pro, cheer her on tonight. Athletes, arrows are up. You have a full set of pins. All right, Bowman fans, how about a great send-off for the top 18 finalists of the Girl Bowling PWBA Players Championship. Good luck, ladies.
All right, folks. Welcome inside our continued coverage here. 2017 Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship live from the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Neil Williams Jr., Matt Cannizzaro, we are here with you. Round one of match play. We have cut to the top 18 players. The leader was Lindsay Boomershine, 18th at +4 was Shannon Pluhowski. Round robin, 6 games here in round one. 11 a.m. tomorrow, 8 a.m. tomorrow. 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll have round 2 for you. And then in the afternoon, we will have round 3 at the end of match play tomorrow. We'll have our 4 finalists for live television. So take place Sunday, June 25th, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Right now you are watching C.T. Rockman taking on Sabrina Davis on 35 and 36. Then on 37 and 38, Esther Chia taking on teammate Shalyn Zulkifli. Rockman has started with the front 5. Davis 1 strike here in the 4th. So Keithley there, 210. No count there. 30 pins for bonus. $15 pins for a tie, of course, no bonus pins. For a loss. Second open there, 2 splits in the game for Esther Chia. She trails Zulkifli by 16 as Chia heads to the 7th frame. Other matches ongoing. Liz Johnson taking on Lee Jane Sin. Shai Donald Hamidi taking on Brittany Smith. Kelly Kulik taking on Lindsay Boomersheim. And a trip forward there for Rockman. To our right, Amanda Green and Erosio Restrepo kick things off. Andrea Asbeatty taking on Leanne Holsenberg. Danielle McEwen. Taking on Jody Wessner, Shannon Pulhowski, and Maria Jose Rodriguez. Of course, live scoring is available. Check your matches out there. Good shot there from Divis. Battling here in game one of match play on the fresh. He's had some success here last year also, making match play. Felt pretty confident. He's bowled well physically. And he started to come together. So our first event was in Wichita. Of course, as a school teacher, talked about that a little bit in last week, actually, in Detroit. Esther Chia after the open in the sixth. Big shot in the 10th frame for Zulkifli. It was still working. Spare will give Shaolin a 194. Mark should get the job done for Esther Chia to get out with a win here. CT Rockman will get the early W as well. Really just trying to find the right situation in regards to matching up. All right, 183. Not too tough of a start, but really going through a couple balls, just trying to get matched up here. It's Johnson out the gates, 240 game. And game number 1 of match play here. Esther Chia now with 5 in a row. All right, 234 to 183. CT Rockman over Sabrina Divis. 219 to 194. Esther Chia over teammate Challen Zulkifli. Rocio Restrepo struck out in the 10th for 202. Mandy Green can only get to 196. Be an opening win and victory for Restrepo. All right, the ladies, of course, writing the scores down. Divis. She's got the family in town watching and following. You know, that's certainly always a help. (202-176) Restrepo over Amanda Green. Brief momentary break. Players that make their move, of course, won't be too long. Only 18 competitors here. Amanda Green will take on Shaolin Zulkifli. And Rockman will move one pair to her right and take on Rocio Restrepo. All right, Amanda Green will start things here in game number 2. She'll be on 35, entering your screen. Coming off a 176 game. Compared to where she was throwing a few shots in practice. May have moved a little left already. And she leaves at 2-8. All right, opening 2-8 spare taken care of. CT Rockman, Restrepo both start with strikes. Restrepo out the gates this morning with 290. And she will step off the approach, come on back, and start this thing over. So Keefley will go. And a 10-pin. I believe during our next game, we'll have Brianna Cote join us. Give us her some thoughts. And talk a little bit about, of course, some of these players here in match play. Lexington Open champion. CT Rockman remaining perfect. She's got the front three here. Restrepo on a double, of course, as well. All right, Restrepo looking for 3 in a row. Good break so far here on pin carry, which is always helpful, obviously, especially when we're talking about match play and in general. Amanda Green, and she leaves the 7th pin. Amanda struggled a little bit today. She came into this morning in 3rd. That was definitely the best shot Restrepo has thrown here in this game. Now 4 in a row. Look at Amanda Green, was 3rd earlier, finished in 11th after qualifying. 49 under this morning. Overall, plus 108. Restrepo relatively consistent in her blocks, plus 42, plus 27, plus 20. She'd probably tell you she'd love to have more this morning after starting with 290. After that, her high game was just 207. That time the pins, or excuse me, the ball went through the pins the right way there for Amanda Green. And she's on the board with her first strike in the third frame. And Shannon Pluhowski +4. All right, special guest. The guy's been dodging me for a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Rob Gotcho.
I really have.
Rob Gotcho in the booth. I always like to bother Rob just for a couple minutes. I'd like to get his thoughts, his expert opinions, just so he can kind of describe to the viewers what's actually happening on the lane. So essentially, this is round 4. This pattern that you've seen that we do not know what the volume, the distance, et cetera, et cetera. What's been first of all, what have you seen, and then from day to day, the differences and how the pattern is played?
Well, obviously as you strip and oil the lane every time, they get a little flatter and flatter in the middle. But when you look at the standings, what you're really seeing this week is a very, very, very soft hand, and axis rotation is good this week. The more axis rotation you have, the better the ball floats down the lane and creates the angle. We have some players in the top 18 that have a little bit of rev rate, but what you don't really see in the match play this week is the high rev rate players like you've been able to see the last few weeks. It's just you had to be very, very soft with your hand to get it to float. Otherwise, if you caught it just a little bit, it picked up early, and then when they got it right, it got there quick, and it wouldn't pick up. So you see the players you'll see as you watch all 18 games of match play are very soft with their hand. They're letting the lane do all the work.
That sounds like, typically that's what you would want to do in that regard, right? But obviously, not everyone has the same amount of rev rate, and everyone has different tendencies, etc.
Yeah, and it's very hard for the girls that do throw it a little firmer. It's very hard for them to. They can slow down, but a lot of times when they slow down, they catch it more. And it's the opposite this week. You need to be a little slow, and you need to not catch it. And you have to basically trust your ball and trust the lane that it's going to come back. Because if you don't, you get it right, it doesn't hook, and then you get it in and get it up the lane, and it picks up 5 feet sooner. It's really good pattern to where it shows some touch and stuff. And like you look at Kelly Kulik and Lindsay Boomershiner, who are essentially leading the tournament. Both are what I say, they're not even touching the holes. They're creating axis rotation, and they're just floating it to the right. And they both can get it back from 4, 5, where the majority of the rest of the field is having to get it back from about 6, 7, 8. You got a couple of the Malaysian girls are playing them a little tighter, but again, very soft hand and just rolling it down the lane.
Voice you hear is Rob Gotcho, all rep, of course, and Mr. Everything for Ebonite International.
It's going to be fun to watch, and we have like Shayna Plahowski in the finals, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with her. She's the only one on the left side of the lane. If she can get comfortable and get it to do the right thing, like we're trying to get her to do the same thing with her hand, to where she's creating a little more axis rotation, not hitting it at the bottom, but we're trying to make something happen on the gutter a little bit, because she can get comfortable, she can get it up the lane, because when she tries to loop it, she tends to pull it up a little bit, and her angles get a little steep, and she just doesn't know it doesn't have the same launch angle every time. So, same type of thing at the U.S. Open. She snuck into the cut, and if she can get comfortable, she's capable of bowling big games to make a run. And like I said, she's the only one on that side of the lane. So every pair she goes to, if she finds something, it's going to be there.
That's a good thing you said that. That was really my next question because she was able to get into match play. She had a big round 2 yesterday, and I was curious what the differences were from round 1 to round 2 to put herself in good position, and then kind of teetering today, but ended up, of course, making.
Well, round 2 was a couple of things. We drilled the ball about a 2-inch pin from her axis, kind of big core, big cover, just so it kind of burned up and it just rolled off it so she could do less to it. And then her execution was great last night. She played about 15 at the arrows, 15 to 10, 9 down lane, and just rolled it. Today she tried to do the same thing, just wasn't as sharp. And so when it got a little left, it went a little right. And when, then you try to help it, it gets up the lane. And, next thing you know, you're fighting yourself. And that's been the number one thing out here on tour this year is if you fight yourself, it costs you more and more pins every game because you can't get frustrated and you just have to trust in your ability. And everyone, you go back home, you see social media, a lot of the foreign players are having a lot of success this year. And there's a lot of talent out here. But the one thing I notice is from the girls from Singapore to the Malaysians and we got Colombians, even though most of them live in America, is the demeanor is straight across the table. And you can go to 2-time Player of the Year Liz Johnson. You don't know if Liz is bowling 174 or if she's bowling 270. She keeps the same demeanor and she never lets it affect her. And when they make the patterns hard, and you have to be consistent with kind of all facets of your game, your mind has to be just as consistent as well. Otherwise you're giving your opponents a distinct advantage, and you have to be patient. Everybody out here is going to bowl bad games.
That's well said. It's good insight right there.
Yeah, and I was talking to one of our staff players this morning that bowling's a weird game because everything is defined by a number. Like you look at the score and it's defined by a number. And if you start off a game open, like let's say it's 9 out, 8-1, you have 18 in the second frame. So your mind is sitting there telling you, how do I get those pins back?
Yep.
And then you press, and then you don't make good shots. But if it's the other way around, what happens if you start with the first 5 and you go 9 out, 8-1? Your mindset, you might be frustrated that you had 2 opens, but your mindset's different. Because why? Because the number says it's different. But it's really not. You still have to bowl 10 frames. So even when you start out open, you still have to have the mindset, those are done. You have to move on to the next, because if you let those 2 shots affect your next shots, that's how we get these 150s and 160 games out here.
Yeah, that 9 out, 8-1 can get that arm swing a little tight.
Yeah, and I know Kelly Kulick pretty well, and we had talked through like 5-6 weeks. She had a good amount of low games, but she allows her mindset and her ability. She bounces back from them because she doesn't let it affect her. She doesn't let that number affect her. I wish we could have like a camera and we could just follow people around and not even like watch them bowl. And you just watch their body language. And so it'd be funny. Maybe we should try this with one of the next core videos. We actually never throw a shot, and we just sit there and we watch body language of somebody the whole time.
Rob just did a couple of things. One, that's a very good idea. Two, to get that video, you must be a member of the core. So that's
which I am a member of the core.
Which he is. I can confirm that. That's a caveat to why you should be a part of the core for things like that. On 37 and 38. Yeah, really good match here. Restrepo will come back off the approach for the second time this game. Not feeling right. How many times do you see players not do what she did and go anyway?
Oh, it happens all the time. I mentioned Plahowski earlier about like how she pulls it up a little the top of her swing, and she says, she goes, I can't stop. And if you do that 2-3 times a game, well, you're basically doing 2 or 3 bad shots. if you don't feel right, you got to stop. There's no reason to rush. There's no. It's the same way if you like, all of a sudden you get up there and you're like, this rack just doesn't feel right. You got to you got to come back, push the reset button, and re-rack. You just don't want to have that doubt in your mind. So you come back, reset. Rosillo's very, very disciplined. She's one of the slower bowlers out here, but part of that is because of her discipline. She doesn't go until she's ready. You can compare it to golf.
And you got to respect that.
Yeah. I mean, it's different if she's slow and, not competitive, But it's hard to argue with her resume over the last, we're a year and a half in. She's got 3 titles, She's one of the best bowlers in the world.
And each time she's come back this game, she has pured it.
Yeah. And it's all about her mindset. It almost has, the majority of it doesn't have much to do with physical stuff because she hasn't even started her approach.
Right.
So a lot of it's just mindset for her.
Talking to Rob Gotchel. Rob, what's your official title?
I am the marketing manager of players, promotions, and events for Ebonite.
Okay, we need an acronym.
Yeah.
Marketing manager of players, promotions, and events.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's like MMPPE.
I don't think Mike's happy with you right now.
Yeah. Mike's got to do a little work.
It's unbelievable right now how much I'm working.
Yeah, you've got it real rough.
This is just my 2-minute segment with Rob. It's kind of more like 8 at this point.
It's a segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're watching Amanda Green here bowl, and then we got Rosillo and CT on the other pair. One of the highest, it's probably going to be one of the highest scoring matches you see in match play. Rosillo's nearly shut out here. Bowling 238. CT's just got to get a mark.
Nice game from row 238. After this 10th frame, I mean, you're free to go whenever you need to, right?
No, it's fine. I'll watch the end of this game.
Okay.
Unless Matt
I don't want you to get in trouble.
Unless Matt wants his chair back. He's probably going to go take some more Twitter pictures and stuff and write an article.
He's already hardworking.
Yeah, Matt works very hard.
Yes. I'm happy he's on my team. Nice
CD
shot.
with the first one in the 10th there. At 260.
We talked after she made the show in Wichita, and she said, obviously, it would be a dream to win a title, but for her and obviously everyone from Malaysia, their second year out bowling on the tour, but specifically she said she expects more from herself this season because it's the second year. So being able to put what she learned and everything from the format change, things she needs to get used to, the travel obviously for them, and all of those things, being comfortable with everyone as well. And she obviously has continued to bowl so well, but then most importantly, maybe she said she went from 5 steps to 4 steps in the offseason.
Yeah, and any sort of change in someone's game, you have to do it to what makes you be able to repeat. If the 5th step's really a timing step, so if you feel you're a little late with your timing in 4 steps, and basically means you're getting the ball started late. A lot of people add the 5th step just because it gets your momentum going, so then your swing's able to start essentially when the 2nd step or the 1st step of a 4-step approach starts. And you talked about the second year for them, and I think some of it's the first year. I don't know if they knew what to expect, or you just kind of appreciate the opportunity. And the Malaysian team, a few of the girls bowled good last year. Lee Jane made a show. One of the other
Shai Dottle?
Shai Dottle made a show in Wichita bowling 300 in the group stepladder. And it seems like when they came this year, they came over more confident and they felt like they belonged. Where last year it was a little learning curve from being a little nervous to living on the road for a month. I feel like they came to play this year.
263 to 238. Sorry,
No, you're
Rockman
all right.
over Restrepo. But continue.
Yeah, and we have the group of Singapore girls that they were only able to make it over for the first swing this year and weren't able to bowl a couple swings like they did last year, and I think they still bowled great this year.
Yeah.
I just think they bowled so good last year.
They set the bar really high.
Yeah, and I think it was they came over. I don't want to say they weren't intimidated or anything, but the expectations were completely different by their peers, by but just by us in general. It was shocking to see some of them not make the cut and struggle, but I just think they bowled so good last year. They looked like they came in a little banged up. Wayfin New has some knee problems. Jazzy's been nursing a couple injuries and stuff like that. But they're
still so good even through that.
Yeah, I mean they are such a solid program, and they're great people.
Yes.
That's one of the good things about them coming over here for these swings and stuff is we've not only got to see their talent and learn from their games, but we've got to know them as people. And through social media and stuff, we're able to keep in touch, and it's just great to see them and learn a little about their culture while they're here living in our culture.
8 pins on 2 balls for Amanda Green. 9 is good, and that's a winner over Shellen Zulkifli. Real quick, Rob, before we let you go, for Amanda, coming in third this morning, had some struggles a little bit today. What's the keys for Amanda?
Her main thing is she's just got to stay soft. She's so soft with the hand, and even when she catches it a little, it still looks soft, but the ball just picks up 3 feet sooner. And the softer you are, the better the ball floats down the lane, and it creates, you have room right and you have room left. But hold on, Amanda. Sorry, had to get her to try a different ball.
Making the calls from the booth. That's impressive.
No, but I mean that's the big thing is the softer you can be at the bottom, the more the ball gets through the front of the lane.
Sounds so simple, yet
Yeah.
so difficult.
Yeah, and it's we've had some other patterns this year where you've had to be a little firmer. You didn't want to create as much angle, but this bowling center, we've bowled here enough now. I bowled the Masters here when we came here the first time for the men, and now the women have been here 3 times. It's you learn the nuances of the bowling center, and it's very hard to play them straight here. You have to go left to right, and it's just how you decide to do it. You can play them a little more direct from the middle, but again, I think you have to be as nice to it as you can with your hand.
All right, sir. I
All
appreciate your time.
No problem.
Very
Thanks
nice.
for having me.
That is Rob Goncho, ladies and gentlemen, from Ebonite, talking a little bit about some athletes, of course, as well. He's got to do some work, but we appreciate him joining us all the time. We'll have Brianna Cote on the way, folks. Next, you're watching the Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship live on Extra Frame. Esther Chia and Erosio Restrepo here, Game 3 of 6, match play round number 1 here at the Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship. Amanda Green taking on Sabrina Davis. And our new special guest for Game 3, none other than 2016 PWBA Lexington Open champion, Brianna Cote. Bree, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for joining us, as always.
Yes, thanks for having me.
My first question, of course, to you, it's kind of typical. I think I ask the same question all the time. The first one, anyway. In regards to the lane condition, specifically because obviously you're a competitor, you competed this week, you bowled on it, and then also you didn't have the same knowledge just like everyone else. Don't know what the pattern is. So
Correct.
what struck you about the pattern? Do you kind of take a guess on how long it is or how many milliliters it might be when you don't know that information?
When we don't know the pattern, length or volume, I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing. For me personally, I get a lot more information just by what my bowling ball is doing on the lane. I can tell, I always try to see if the outside is playable. Here it was definitely difficult to do that, even though there is friction. I think it is a little bit shorter. I wouldn't say it's more than 40 feet, but I could be incorrect. We'll find out come Sunday. So then I just started migrating left from there and kind of figure out what will work, what won't work. It seemed like smoother equipment worked the best because of how much friction there was in the center part of the lane. Which I kind of remember that the past couple of years that we've been here, from Queens in 15 and then this tournament last year. I believe most of us were playing similar part of the lane. So that to me, I get more information just by what my bowling ball is doing. Yeah, it's great to have the lane graph and see kind of what ratios we may be working with this week, but you really don't know what the pattern's going to do until you start bowling on it. And it tends to get different every time it's laid down, if we have a burn squad. So to me, that's where we get the most information.
What would be your A game? What do you consider your A game on the lanes? If the lane condition gives you X, Y, Z, you automatically feel a level of comfort. Where's that at?
My A game is definitely playing straighter. When I can keep my angles more in front of me, not have to go super far, left to right, or even right to left. If I can just keep it kind of straight and let the ball read off the pattern, that's definitely my A game, and I think that's how I won my first tournament. I got to play my A game, which, funny reason or not, I didn't get to play that part of the lane in Lexington. But again, being in a different setting, you kind of just handle what the play gives you and you just go at it. And so for me, it'll be straighter. So I've had to adapt my game this season to play these extreme angles. I'm still working on it, but things are getting there and I'm constantly learning.
I feel this year we've talked about, of course, lane conditions have been kind of a constant conversation piece simply because of the variety, the level of difficulty in certain weeks, and then certain nuances to give a variety, things like not releasing the pattern, for example. But it is, from talking to players, of course, and you just kind of talked about it yourself, just, knowing the pattern's going to let you know either what you need to work on, what you need to sharpen up, if you will, et cetera, et cetera. Do you kind of get that sense across the tour as the players play, of course, and you guys talk amongst yourselves? Is that kind of a, hey, these patterns kind of show some weaknesses?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think, every week we have, the great players who are just great at the game, like Liz and Kelly. They're at the top of the game, and they're, you can throw a dirt road at them, and I think they would make,
But there was dust on the lane back in 2000.
There was, and look who won that. But then again, players who are straighter, as myself, I'm a little not as firm as Liz, so I tend to to have a little bit more issues with controlling the pocket if they get a little flippier down lane. Then you have some players, we don't see a lot. We haven't seen a ton of lefties in the field. Shannon Pulowski is one of those few again. She's great at what she does. She makes shots. So I think, even righties and lefties have had to adapt their games to play because we've had to get so far left that we're getting into lefty territory, especially that first week. And even some of the righties who tend to roll it more have been having to learn to get around it a little bit more to try to shape it differently down lane, myself included in that. So I think we're all trying to evolve, and in the end it's going to make us all better as a whole. So the tour is just going to keep getting tougher and tougher.
Mr. Chia. She has gone strike, spare, strike, spare, strike, of course, working on the Dutch 200. Chia Restrepo coming off the 238 game where she lost.
She did, I believe, against CD Rahman. CD shot 260?
263. Or 265. Let's just look at it.
It was 260 something.
How about we just check the score?
Yeah, that might work out. And then we have Amanda Green and Sabrina Davis.
263. Yep, Davis.
I always want to say Davis. There's no A there.
Well, it's funny. I asked her last because we'd hear some people would say Davis, and she said, "Oh no,
whatever."
Exactly. But I'm like, that's like a pet peeve because I don't want to say someone's name wrong because I've spent now I'm 33 years of my life correcting people on how to.
Yeah, me
how
too.
To say my name.
My name, are you Brianna? No, Brianna. And they never spelled it right, so I totally understand.
Well, you got to be unique.
You
So
gotta
shout
be
out
different.
to your parents.
Thanks, Dad, for spelling my first name. So Amanda Green leaving not so friendly split there.
Let me ask you this: we just had Rob Gottschall on, of course, from EBI. You're an EBI athlete.
Yes, I am.
Is it when you represent a particular company, staff, whatever it is? How often you guys work together in that sense? Obviously, you got to worry about your own game, but is there a level of that kind of continuity to where you can, throw a few ideas at each other as players?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially in the practice sessions, you'll usually see a few groups of us, playing the lanes and kind of figuring things out together. Even today, I followed Erin McCarthy, fellow EBI staffer, and she kind of gave me an insight of what she saw in the lane. Even though we throw it completely different, she was, nice enough to relay that information. So, I mean, as a whole, yeah, we all want us to get up there, to be up there, and as many EBI players as possible, in the top 18 or 12 or whatever it may be that week. But then again, when push comes to shove, it's, every man for themselves when it comes to, match play and trying to make shows. But, as a whole, we want everyone to do well, even though there's only, one winner at the end of it.
Mr. Chia looking for her first double.
Coming up light there with the 2-4-5. I call it the empty bucket. No 8-pin.
There are a few names for that leave.
Yeah.
I feel like Aaron Smith called it something. We were talking about it at the Queens. What's the so when you have that and the 7-pin?
Oh, I call it the bucket with a handle.
It was you who said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have all names for the bucket because my dog is Bucket.
That's what it is.
He was very good today. I spared him all.
Okay.
He was not very good last night. So that's how I relay my bowling. Guys, I'm sorry, but it's just how I do.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And relatable.
It is. Everyone understands the frustration of that spare, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Especially on demanding patterns, it's very, very easy to make a mistake.
Davis in the 6th frame.
Mixing it up. She bowled very consistent this week. I was just glancing through scores while I was eating lunch, and she was really consistent.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. I mean, she had a really good day this morning, but she looked like she didn't really shoot herself down. She kept everything in play, which That's the name of the game.
She had lots of success here last year also at this very event. And for her, of course, just really her tour season it started in Wichita. She is a teacher, and so, of course, not able to make the early events in California and the Queens. And so talked to her briefly before we started here. She was a little bit more comfortable as, got a few events under the belt this season. Kind of working out the kinks, if you will. Her family's here, and I know family's always
that definitely helps.
Important.
Helps
and makes
loosen that
people
arm swing a little
Absolutely.
bit when you have some support behind you. So that's great. She's bowling well, so.
A Green looking for a double here as well. Amanda was third this morning, finished 11th after this morning, so qualifying for match play in the 11th position. At the moment, Amanda Green still in 11th.
Still in 11th.
1-1, plus 110 overall. Of course, that now includes some bonus or no bonus, of course, and depending on whether you have some wins, that's a weird lead.
Weird 410 there for Rocio. Yeah, that very unfortunate there for that hit.
You had that kind of tone like you went through that this week.
Yeah, we all have. We all had our lucky shots that carried and the ones that could have at least gotten one of them out. But that's bowling. Without that, that's how bowling evens out.
Joined in the booth by Brianna Cote. That is the voice you hear. Certainly appreciate her joining us. We had Rob Gotchel on in our previous game.
Handsome Rob, that's what my husband calls him.
How's your hubby?
He's doing well. He just got back from Bowl Expo, so he was there for about a day and a half and went back home. So he will be with me next week in Florida. So sure he's looking forward to watching me bowl some more. But we're having a little mini vacation out during that time, so it'll be fun.
Are you going to remain in Florida?
I am.
Orlando
yes,
to Tampa, essentially?
I am. We're going to Disney World
Nice.
and Universal Studios. So.
Strepo.
Comes up light, the 2-pin.
Leading the way right now after 2 games of match play continues Lindsay Boomershy, plus 397. She is 1-1 and even in match play.
Yeah, and she just shot 250.
Well,
she's right next to me. That's why I can see it.
That should help.
256 with the win against Brittany Smith.
Shaidadal Hamidi has moved into second. 2 games of 217, 233, both victories. So she is 2-0 and has, of course, added 60 pins worth of bonus to her total also.
Oh, Messenger.
Nice break.
Those are awesome.
Kelly Kulik is third. She is 0-2 so far, plus 322. Liz Johnson.
480 for 2.
Well.
Liz who? No, just kidding.
Matt and I were talking, and I think it was either last night or early this morning, and Liz was hovering around like 14th, 15th-ish, but of course starting to kind of work her way up, and it's like all Liz needs is, just look up, and all of a sudden she's got 230, 230, 240.
Yeah, Liz hit the gas pedal. I bowled next to Liz all week.
Like all she has to do is just get to match play. She just needs to get there,
yeah.
And then it's a different level.
She bowled really well this morning, though. Because I don't think she necessarily finished how she wanted to yesterday morning, but then she kind of steadied, and then she rocked it today. So I'm not surprised that once match play is a whole different game.
Sure.
You have those players who just thrive so hard off match play, and they just take it to the competitors. Liz being one of them. So, but again, this is game 3. We have 15 to go.
Long
Still,
way to
anything
go.
can happen, especially with those 30 bonus pins. So you imagine if you win 15 straight matches. Oh, that's a lot of bonus pins.
Hey, we've seen some crazy things take place. Records are always meant to be broken
right.
as well. And we've got two very close matches here.
We do.
Amanda Green to deal with a 4-pin here.
Yep. Clean that up easily.
Back to the standings. Again, Liz Johnson, 80 over after 2. CT Rockman, 230, 263 as we mentioned. 97 over after 2. I'm talking about match play games here, folks. So Liz Johnson plus 308. We're taking the top 4 for TV. So that's the number essentially that we are looking at. Good shot there from Restrepo.
I think that a 3-pin match. Oh. Shelton almost picked up the big 4 down there.
Shot there from Divis. And now that has given her the advantage here in this match. She'll have an opportunity to shut out Green here. All 35 and 36 Restrepo will finish first. Cannot shut out, of course, Esther Chia. She trails by 3 pins at the moment. This is game 3 of 6 today. We'll have 6 more in the morning.
Bright and early at 8 a.m.
Yes,
8 a.m. Ooh, it's got a hook.
Wow.
Ooh.
Is it difficult? Not difficult. Let me ask you, as Divis leaves a 6-10. You're talking about Liz, and we talked a little bit about this when you won last year, just players that you've looked up to, like Shannon Puhowski, for example. When you're bowling, is it, do you find yourself still, kind of taking that opportunity to either learn from a particular player or by watching what they're doing, and or in a sense that, I mean, obviously you're a professional, you've won, but, you know, sometimes it's like, hey, this is still Kelly Kulick. This is still Liz Johnson that you get to compete with weekly. Ooh, 9 pin.
That was a great shot. To be honest, both. You know, they're learning every day just like we are, no matter if you have 20 titles or 0. We're all learning out here from each other. The experienced players, you know, have the experience under their belt. They know what to expect when it comes to TV or, you know, pressure situations. But the young ones, not myself included, a lot of them to me just bowl with no conscience. They just do, you know. And sometimes I wish I could turn my brain off and just do. And again, I think no matter how old I get or if I win 20 titles, I'm always going to look up to Liz and Kelly and Shannon because, you know, I aspire to be them. So I think all of us, you know, are always learning and always looking up to those who inspired us the most. And I don't think that's ever going to change.
Yeah, needs the first one.
Missed in. So Amanda has a chance here to beat Sabrina. She's going to need the first 2 and then some pins.
Really good shot there.
She got that first one. I don't know if she necessarily liked it. Looked like she
Yeah.
fell off balance a little bit. But great shot. Opening the 10th here for Esther. 186. Drop her down a little bit.
Steer led after round 1 yesterday and really consistently been around the top 10 throughout the week, as almost every player from Malaysia this week.
Yeah, the Malaysian girls have been bowling great this week.
All right, Amanda Green needs another.
Great shot.
Even better than the first.
Yeah, that one, she looks a little more confident on that one. So she's going to need 4 pins. Pretty confident she can get 4.
Amanda's a PWBA champion, winning in 2015 during the relaunch year with Lincoln Open. Former All-American at my alma mater. Like to throw that in there, just
Lindenwood.
Lindenwood University.
enough.
All right, then that's a W for
Amanda Green.
Amanda. So that's she'll go to 2-1 in match play here. Obviously, still work to do and still plenty of games to do it in.
Definitely. Anything's possible.
Good matchup coming up here. You want to stick around?
Sure.
Okay. Game 4.
Jody Wessner and Deandra Asbeatty. I'm not too sure yet who's coming up on the next pair.
Well, I'll tell you in
Jody
1 second.
Wessner looking fabulous in her apparel EFX outfit, I might add.
Okay.
Can't help it. I get my 2 cents in there just like you.
Hey, that's an approved manufacturer
It is.
on the
Great shot
PWBA
there by
tour
Jody.
via the apparel side. Speaking of that, shout out to all of our approved product companies, whether you're a ball manufacturer, apparel, accessories.
All of them.
It's a
Thank
very
you for
good.
everything.
Yeah,
Without
absolutely.
them, we would
No doubt
not
about
be
it.
here. So thank you to all of our sponsors.
It is a very good. You just kind of see year after year, of course, and it's weird because it's still young, right? The tour is still young.
Yes.
In the sense of
The rebirth is still young.
right, and so each year we continue to see the growth and more companies and sponsors want to be involved, which obviously is what you would want to see.
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially after that first year when I think I remember being in a town hall meeting and Chad Murphy saying, we were expecting like 40 entries, and we're like, the first couple tournaments we're pushing 80, and we're like, oh, well, we're doubling that. So that's great. And, the last, being the 3rd year, hasn't slowed down. So it's great. So without the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do what we love. So again, thank you.
Our title sponsor this week is GoBowling.com. Of course, they've got a NASCAR race that they sponsor. Go Bowling 400 was just a few weeks ago. And as of yesterday, through the Bowling Proprietors Association of America as well, they will also
They will also be sponsoring
the PBA Tour.
tournament.
Yeah.
PBA Tour. Awesome.
The Go Bowling.
So thanks, Go
PBA
Bowling,
Tour.
for keeping bowling alive.
A lot of good things going on in our industry. Of course, the Grand Industry Trade Show obviously just completed.
Yes.
Well, complete today,
Bowl
right?
Expo.
And the last day was today
I believe
officially.
so. Yep, it was in Nashville.
The Bowl Expo, where every industry, company, accessory, ball
Everything.
manufacturer.
They have like the people who bring in the video games for like arcades in the bowling centers. I mean,
Yeah,
every kind. I remember playing free air hockey and trying out new cool games for the arcade. So I mean, it's not just bowling balls and shoes and clothes. I mean, it's everything for a bowling center. Food vendors. So
yeah, I was
it's a lot of.
didn't really get it for a while.
Yeah.
I've never been to Bowl Expo, so
You
it's
should go.
still on my list. And
You should definitely go.
well, I'd like to, but
Yeah.
I gotta.
But then again,
other
the
things.
tour would not be the same without
That's
you.
correct. I'm glad you said that. But when you said that, just the other vendors, and I was like, oh wow, duh. I mean, it makes
Yeah,
total
you
sense.
think
Everything
about it, yeah.
that bowling
Everything
centers need.
That have it,
Right.
People gotta eat. People gotta
do
drink.
have to
you gotta
eat.
entertain the children while you're bowling league. So
Well, I've been craving and I'm talking about video games. There was a video game called WrestleFest. I don't know if you were into wrestling at all
No.
back in the day. Okay.
but I'm not judging. 'Cause that's pretty
No.
cool.
There's
I watch UFC now.
this
so.
is like late '90s.
Okay.
So they were still like, Hulk Hogan. So, but this game was just off the charts good.
Yeah.
But any kind of arcade that you go to now, never really see this game. And if one arcade, bowling center, wherever, if someone just has this game, please let me know.
Yes, Emil will be there.
I will travel to go play this game.
Yes.
All right, Jody Wessner and Deandra Asbeatty in front of us here on 35 and 36. Brittany Smith and Kelly Kulik. Brittany Smith bowling well, making match play here this week. One of the coming into the season, one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's Brittany bowled well today, and she's been bowling pretty good. She's bowled well here in the past, I believe, even when Queens was here.
So say the Queens.
I don't. Did she shoot a 300? I don't know if she shot.
I think she did.
I want to.
That is
my
what you
brain
remember.
is serving me correctly. But she's bowled well in the center, multiple times. So, but I mean, pass is the pass. She's still bowling really good right now.
Yep.
So,
In fact, she bowled so well earlier.
I think she made a big move this morning.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
210 over this morning. Is that right?
That is correct.
My math's right. Yay!
What, minus 55 in round 1, and then plus 102 last night, and plus 200
Yep, she put on a clinic.
today. Pretty sure she had the highest block at, I can't remember what game it was, but it was between Brittany Smith, I want to say Liz. Oh, no, it was Brandy. It was between Brandy Branca and
Yes, Brandy
Brittany
bowled
Smith
really well today, too.
for highest
She
block
bowled-
at that particular time.
Yep, she bowled really well today, too. So Kelly Kulik starting with the front three.
Kelly says she's been obviously feeling comfortable. She's bowled well in this center in the past. She said her ball tends to do the right things in this building, and then obviously we've talked about, and it's been well documented in regards to personal, physical, emotional
Yes.
trials and whatnot that she has had to deal with, including family as well. So.
She's handled it very well.
Absolutely.
She's a great role model for everyone, and I honestly don't think we could have a better spokesperson for the PWBA. So thank you, Kelly, for everything you do and who you are. So.
Joined in the booth by Brianna Cote, 2016 PWBA Lexington Open champion.
Oh, thought she was going to get that.
Jody Wessner through the last 5 in game 18. Shot 238 to get in the match play number.
She had a good 2 last games. She shot, I think, 210 and 230 those last 2. So she definitely put her mind to the test, and she got it done. So great push those last 2 for her.
Deandra, of course, kind of riding some momentum, making her first TV show in several years. Last time she was on television, she won the 2012 USBC Queens.
It's got to feel pretty good last time you're on TV won. So, she's been bowling good, though. She's been throwing it really well. Not sure if you saw, but her daughter Jersey got injured today. Something hit her head, and so she had to go to the ER. So this was their first ER experience, but she's fine. So just want to say, hope you're feeling okay, Jersey. I know your mom's probably thinking about you.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But yeah, that was, I think that was posted, I want to say, right before this squad start.
Okay.
So, she's okay.
Well, that's good news.
That is good news. But if anyone's a follower of Deandra,
Sure.
and her cute kids, so.
And Jersey, husband John. John is taking care of Jersey. And
Madden's around here somewhere.
Madden is here. He's in the building. Always popular when he's here. Jersey's probably as popular as well when she's in the building.
Yes,
Also,
definitely.
we got some cool players. Obviously, we've got cool parents for those who are parents.
We do,
and then
yeah.
we've got a growing cool kids club
We do.
on the tour as well.
Yeah, the PWBA Kids Club. But that's the next generation.
Good shot there for D. She's got
Yeah,
3 in a
3
row.
in a row. Great shots.
Shannon Blahowski has started with the front 5, taking on Amanda Green.
Yep.
Amanda's gone double 9 spare strike, 9 spare.
Yep. Just off to our left here. I
That
don't
match is
know.
on 31 and 32.
Yes.
So be sure to check your live scoring. The live scoring link can be found on pwba.com/live.
See if Jody can double up here after that split.
right lane has not been cool for her.
No,
Now a 2-4-5.
it's coming up light. Not sure if she's missing right. It's kind of hard to tell. Definitely not picking up in the spot she would like it to. Kelly with back-to-back opens.
Folks, don't forget on Sunday, obviously a live televised final of the Go Bowling Players Championship. It will begin at noon Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central, right here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. If you are within distance of walking, driving, transit,
Yeah, come on down and watch.
we'd love to have you. Blahowski with the front six. Good seats and good tickets still available, of course. They'll be also taping 3 other finals: the Wichita Open, Pepsi Lincoln Open, and the Greater Detroit Open.
Oh, Sundays are for bowling, so come down and watch. Guaranteed to be some excitement.
$20 gets you in the door, whether you happen to stay for 2, 4. You're free to roam
It's not bad.
for that amount.
Not bad.
You can be here,
There's not much you can do for $20 all day.
not much.
So
You can
definitely
watch 4
come on
champions
down.
get crowned,
That's
though.
right.
And
And it
be
could
on
be
TV.
all new. It could be all new champions.
You know, we've had 4 new so far here. No repeats as of yet.
As of yet, I don't. So my prediction may be incorrect, but I just have a feeling that we're not going to see a whole lot of repeats this year.
Okay.
But again, I could be wrong because we still have those great players out there.
Sure.
But I just have a feel this year we have a lot of new faces making TV. I think we're going to get a lot of new faces winning. So that's my prediction.
No
we'll see
repeat
how it
champions.
goes. I don't think we're going to have any repeat champions.
Okay. That would be interesting,
We haven't. I mean, it hasn't happened yet.
because that, you know what that would mean. That would
mean we would almost have all new people in the tour championships and not based off points.
correct. There would be maybe let's see.
One
We
or
have
two.
4, then 4 more coming up. No, that's 8. Then 4 more, 12. We would have 4 spots based off points for the tour championship.
Yep. And in the past years, there's been a lot more than 4 based off points. So,
Correct. Because of our repeat champs.
Because of the repeats, the first year I think Liz won 3 events.
She won 2
And
last
then-
year. Shannon O'Keefe won 2.
And then Rocio won 2 last year.
Or she won 3, excuse me.
the-
Rocio won
Mhm.
1, 2 as well.
Yep. So I really think this year is going to be mixed up a little bit. So just by how the year has gone so far, we'll see. Definitely see come Sunday those four champions could be new, could be the same. We'll find out.
As Beatty
10 pin.
looked like it lost just a tad bit
Yeah, a
of
little
energy.
energy, but still 9's good. You can play, pick up your spare.
So I asked Shannon, of course, because she was the number, right? She got in at +4, and she's no stranger to making match play, being in the cut at a major,
Yes,
and then going on to the number 1 seed. She did that at the U.S. Women's
she
Open.
did.
Well, I said, are you going to do that again? Is that's, obviously she don't have a choice
Yeah.
at that
she's-
point
Yeah.
if she's going to, get to TV, and now she's got the front
Front
7.
7. Mm-hmm. Don't count her out.
Not at all.
Not in the slightest bit. Shannon just threw the shot right now. 10 back. Front 8 for Shannon. Kelly with the kind of a weak 10 there. You can see Kelly's mind's starting to turn the wheel a little bit. Great shot by Jody. Try to put something together here these last few frames. Pulowski up the 9th and comes up light for a 3-9. Good run by Shannon. She essentially has that match in hand. She got a ways to go, but we got a lot of games to go. So that game will definitely boost you up there.
Well, you need some big games. Of course, when you're trying to make a run like that, and then most importantly, you need to win some matches because you need some bonus pins. Those don't hurt you at all.
No, those bonus pins, especially if you don't have a great game, and say you're kind of up there and you win to keep yourself kind of even. Those help too. But you know, the big games with the bonus, those definitely boost you up there pretty quick. Looks like there's another 250 down there, but I can't see by. Oh, it was Danielle McEwen with a 250.
So she defeated
Leanne
Leanne Holsenberg. 220 something. Leanne
Yeah,
shot. Can't
220
tell.
something to 250 something. I just don't know if Danielle filled the 10th or not, or the fill shot. I'm sorry. So Brittany and Kelly have a 3-pin match here. Both have a couple spares. Kelly with one split missing. Great shot by Deandra. So Deandra is going to beat Jody.
This has turned into a 3-pin match here.
It had.
Same situation that we saw in a
The
previous
last
match
game,
before,
I
right?
know.
Different competitors,
It's a
but
3-pin match pair.
3-pin match.
We're trying to wheel that one in.
Let's take a look at some scores here. Boomer Shine still on top
Still
after 3
leading.
games of match play. Plus 483. Shadal Hamidi still in second at plus 427.
CD Ramen. Did she just jump into the
I
top
think
three?
she just jumped into the top 3. She is
That'll
3
do
and 0.
it with 234, 263, 235. 732 total with 90 bonus pins. Yeah, that'll shoot you up there pretty quick. She may have the highest 3-game ball.
No doubt about it so far.
Yeah, definitely. So she's going really good. So she's trying to make a run at Lindsay. She's within just over 100.
Kelly Kulik in 4th, plus 351.
Jody's not liking this railing.
You know, towards the end of round 1 or round 2, I think it was maybe round 1, but saw a lot of folks on this particular lane leave a lot of 2-4-5s.
Yeah,
It was a common leave.
I think it was a common leave, pretty much around the house when you ball started to split, and you moved off of it. Some pairs it would, you know, just kind of lay off and float and never turn the corner. So you would bucket essentially fairly easy. So you really had to be on top of the move with the right ball, the right angle to when you were splitting to get it to retain enough energy to get back to the pocket and strike. So Shannon actually opened in the 10th. Deandra's giving props to her squad back there. So Kulik looking for the second one in the 10th. Flat 10. So Brittany Smith will need to Mark in the 10th to beat Kelly.
Certainly not the easiest thing to do. It sounds easy,
Easier said than done.
but it definitely is
By
easier
far.
said than done.
By far. And Kelly with 193. So Brittany will come up here in the 10th. Just needs a mark and good count. And that's the best kind of mark you can do.
Best mark you can get.
So
And add some pins to
winner.
the score.
Yes, definitely. So try to maximize the 10th frame. 217 plus those 30 pins.
Leanne Holstenberg will take on Sabrina Divis. On 35 and 36, and on 37 and 38, we'll have Shalyn Zulkifli and Danielle McEwen. That'll be the Game 5 matches on our feature pairs. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Any of our constant and consistent viewers
Yes.
checking in, of course, throughout
Tuning
the
in,
week.
watching.
Thank you so much. It's always appreciated, and
Never know
take
what you're
it.
going to see.
That is true.
You never know. Just got to hit at the right time. Might see a cool split. Might see a 300 game. Seen it all.
That has happened.
Might
All of it.
see the worst break in bowling. So I think all of the above have actually been on extra frame.
Well, you've been around for some history.
Yeah.
I believe my exact words were, "Are you ready for history?"
Are you ready for history?
And then Shadalo Hamidi shot.
That's right.
300.
I commentated that one. And I've had my share of watching the men's tour. I've seen the 710 picked up. So,
Final score 206-193. Smith over Kulik. In a match where Kelly got out to the good start and then
ran into some trouble.
open, clean from frame 6 on, but almost too little, too late in that regard.
Definitely.
Just so how quick.
Things can change. Yeah, Brittany stayed.
Yeah.
I mean, no, she did have one open. I'm sorry. She did have a 9 miss down the 6th, but held on.
Let's see where everyone else is going. It looks like everyone kind of has that.
Where's
not sure
everybody
look.
going? I know. Where am I going next? I think see Maria off to her left. Maybe nope. Saidado kept walking.
I know Lindsay and Deandra, according to our schedule, will head down to 27 to 28.
Oh, all the way down to the low end.
Again, Leanne is she's in the area where the schedule says she should be. I think we have one match. Actually, there are 2 matches just finishing up. So
Yep.
that is the brief delay. So while we have that delay, of course, don't forget, again, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, live TV. And then, of course, the air dates for the tape shows. Wichita, July 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern. So set your DVRs if you will be
Fireworks and
enjoying some
bowling.
fireworks. Or my recommendation would be get somewhere where you can
See
not only
both?
watch the fireworks,
See both?
but watch the show. I know that can be easier said than done, of course, as well. But
I
we
think
certainly
technology
appreciate
will
it.
allow that these days.
We definitely appreciate it. Then on July 11th, the following Tuesday, the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open will air again July 11th, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then July 18th, we'll have the PWBA Greater Detroit Open. Again, July 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern. So that is essentially the upcoming broadcast schedule for you. So if you haven't already, go to your DVR. Don't just record one episode, record the series.
The series. Definitely the series. I still have all of last year's, like all of them. Because when there's nothing on TV, which happens more frequent than not with the 500 channels that are out there, there are times where there's nothing to watch. So I'm like, I'm just turning on bowling.
Absolutely. There's and then there'll be also many times where you'll have the opportunity, if you missed it, there will be replays.
Yes.
A lot of times we like to replay them in blocks as well. So if you miss
Definitely.
one, you may have
You
missed
may
a
get
couple.
a good couple. Yeah. I actually missed taping my own show.
What?
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but thankfully they replayed it because I was not at home to watch it. I was at a viewing party, which I was thankful to have, but my DVR did not record it. Like the one time, DVR, you let me down. But it did replay, and it did replay with Rochester at the same time. So again, they do group them. They even do that with the men's sometime. So if you ever miss any, maybe it'll be in the wee hours of the morning. But
there's a lot of good bowling going on.
yes,
On the PBA Tour as well on CBS Sports Network.
definitely.
So be sure to check your DVRs as well. And so while we have a moment,
Uh-oh.
we'll step aside momentarily as we await our competitors on our featured pairs. But while you're listening to Brianna Cote, how about we get to know her just a little
Sounds
bit more?
great.
All right, Brianna Cote on your screen next. It's Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship, Bowl TV on Extra Frame.
It's a Mickey Mouse bowling ball. It was red, and I had a matching one ball bag. Bowling alley.
Usually one must go to a bowling alley to meet a woman of your stature.
I remember bowling at JBT and a Junior Bowlers Tour event when I was younger, and the lane machine broke down halfway through oiling, so we all decided to stack bowling balls as high as we could. So that's probably pretty strange. Green. Why? I like four-leaf clovers. Something that I love. You probably, if you saw the TV show I was on, I had a clover outfit on. I'm not Irish, but I love them.
Is that your favorite jersey?
It is now. It'd be mac and cheese.
Just mac and cheese.
Just mac and cheese.
Wow.
Yeah. Kraft mac and cheese. My favorite dessert would probably be creme brulee. Well, my socks never match.
Socks.
My socks never match.
Like on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, they never match. I don't have time for that. All-time favorite movie would probably be Steel Magnolias. Probably Jennifer Aniston.
She's popular.
She's popular, and I think she has good personalities. You know, she can be serious, but she can be fun. Last song I listened to was Me Too, Bacon Trainer. So seeing the same people every week is good, to knowing that you always have a support system out here. So they're family.
All right, a nice look at Brianna Cote. Some of that personality that she is that is shown across. I think you can even get it across the airwaves a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I'm not very shy.
those were fun to make. We were just talking about.
They were so much fun.
We ran them in the off season. Shot them at last year's Tour Championship, sponsored by Smithfield. So just kind of a peek into, of course, players off the lanes essentially, and some fun, lighthearted questions, and hopefully to show obviously the viewer that, hey, I'm Brianna, and you know, I don't always bowl.
Yeah, I don't always
So to speak.
bowl. I do have personality. we like to have fun, even though sometimes, our facial expressions on the lane are very friendly.
Well, I think everyone understands, the respect for the athlete.
Definitely.
You guys are professionals.
We
and
are.
So you have a job to do. You've got lives to lead, and bills to pay.
That's right.
Just keeping it real.
Bill
You
comes
got
every
bills to pay.
month.
You got bills to pay, and you got to make a living.
That's right. We all do. So, but yeah, we definitely still like to have fun and have fun with each other. That was so much fun to do. We were all having fun inside the bowling alley playing. Actually, we were playing dodgeball. It didn't go very well, but it was so much fun.
That was a fun day.
It was a fun day. So we were very thankful to have that relaxed day before the tour championship started. So.
Watching Leanne Holsenberg, the USBC Hall of Famer.
Yes.
The all-time greats on the PWBA tour.
Yes, she is. She will always be a unique style. But I mean, she hasn't changed it in the however many years. I don't want to age her. But one of the greats, still one of the greats out here competing. I know she struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season and has been working on things too, and it looks like it's doing good things for her. So glad to see Leanne out making match play this week.
But last week she was just a few shots away from earning a TV spot.
Yeah, I was flying home keeping track on the live scoring, so she was close. She put herself in there.
I sit at the Queens. I know where she works at Storm. Of course, and certainly a representative. They have a piece of equipment called the Timeless.
Yes.
But I said, hey, well, that.
Her style is timeless.
Absolutely. I mean,
Definitely. And she's a great person, too.
That's the example right there.
Definitely.
And still getting it done.
Yes, my grandfather was obsessed with her. Still is. He always was like, my girlfriend's on TV. So I told her that, and she just smiled, and I said, yeah, I hate to tell you this, but I'm his favorite bowler now. But you're still his girlfriend. She said, okay. But yeah, so pretty cool. We have Shellen Zulakifli and Danielle McEwens are now with an early double here. Danielle bowled really well today to get into the number.
Mentioned earlier, sometimes with the advent of TV, with the return of TV, of course, to our tour, it allows, obviously, a different level of exposure. But it also sometimes can, if you don't see a person on TV, some fans or people like last year, someone asked, hey, I haven't seen Danielle. What's wrong? Is everything okay? And then, she was kind of leading the tour in match play appearances.
Yes.
So, not necessarily indicative of how one season is going.
Not necessarily something is wrong.
Correct.
I mean, it's not easy to make that top 4 for TV. It's just like it's not easy to make that top 12 every week. So, she put herself in that position to try to get there. I mean, she did win in Wichita last year. She did make TV. I think she made the Queen Show last year as well.
Yes.
So, just because you don't see the same player on TV week after week doesn't mean they're not doing well. It's tough out there. So.
Well, if you lead the league, or excuse me, the tour in match play appearances,
You're doing pretty good.
12 out of 13
is not bad. I have to say that's pretty darn good. So, yeah.
I mean, 12 out of 13 times you gave yourself a chance to make TV.
Yeah, and I don't think, and of those 12, 2 automatically make it, and then you have 6 more that have a chance to try to make it. So your odds are pretty good.
Yep.
So again, she put herself right there. If you ask anybody on this tour if they thought 12 out of 13 was bad bowling, they're going to say you're crazy. So we have Leanne Holsenberg with another double here. Everyone's still clean through 3 on the 35 and 36. shot by Leanne.
Holstenberg looking pretty good here.
Yeah. Some good shots there.
I believe the scoring system here at the Ashwaubenon, they've been with scorers, of course, along with Kathy Watko on staff, and then everyone here on staff at the bowling center has had the standings, the plus minuses throughout
They've
the
been
week.
so on top of it and so
Every
awesome.
game.
Yes, thanks guys for all that hard work. Definitely as players, when you're getting into that last game, and if you think you're close or not, and if you're still waiting for scores to refresh and you're in the ninth frame, it gets kind of frustrating. So thanks for being quick and efficient on that. All the volunteers, all the kids that helped and are still helping with getting us water, or helping us caddy the bowling balls. It's just been awesome, and I really hope we come back here.
Yeah, this is another definition of first class in regards to, not only just running, helping run the event, basically hosting the event.
Yes.
They are the hosts.
Yes, I mean, and they're a great host. This is probably one of my favorite places to come to. The first time when they're like, we're going to Green Bay for the Queens, I was like, I'm going to Green Bay? What? But then the last few years, it's, the bowling center is cool looking, like vintage with the backstops and everything. So I really do get to come back, hope to come back here in 2019, but time will tell when that schedule comes out.
Yeah, next week, or excuse me, not next week. Next week is Orlando, though.
Next week is Orlando, so if you're in Orlando, come watch us bowl next week.
On that front, we should have a couple extra frame viewers, actually, who will be in Orlando. They live in the area or will be there.
That's awesome.
So just through, various weeks of commenting, chatting, etc., they'll be out to check out the PWBA Orlando Open and Boardwalk Bowl. But in regards to the schedule of next year, of course, an opportunity, another one for the tour to receive some other exposure, go to some different markets and some different cities as well. So if you haven't seen the 2018 schedule, it is available on PWBA.com.
It will be a different route next year. So new places, a couple familiar ones that Queens is in Reno. We've been there multiple times. Be at again Fountain Valley again. St. Petersburg is a repeat. We'll be in Orlando again next year, but will be the Players' Championship as opposed to just a standard event. Columbus, I think the last time we were in Columbus was for the U.S. Open when it was mixed with the men. So be good to go back there. That's a nice center as well. Wayne Webb Center does really nice.
Yeah, Wayne does a good job.
And then we have, of course, the last two majors, which haven't been announced yet, but I'm sure they will announce those fairly soon. I would say probably into the season, if not before the end of the year, definitely. So we have an idea of what to look forward to. Back to Las Vegas, thankfully, so I can drive there.
I know me personally, I'm looking forward to Connecticut.
Me too. I've never been there.
Me neither. That's the exact reason why.
Yeah, I've never been there. I have family friends from, at home that have a ton of family from there, and they're like, oh, you're going to love it. So I'm actually really excited to go there. I am excited to go back to Kentucky.
Louisville. Not Lexington.
Not Lexington, but I did really enjoy Kentucky. It was very pretty while we were there, and I actually have some fans now from Kentucky. So.
Yeah, the bluegrass is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and,
so
you could, if you won in Louisville, just think about this. I don't know if you know about the deep rivalry between Louisville, the University of, and then Kentucky.
Yes.
Which is in Lexington. I mean, but if you could win both,
oh man,
you could be kind of that peacemaker
across
across the entire
state. I don't know if I could be the peacemaker, because I mean, some of these rivalries, they go back way back.
They do. That's one of them.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll definitely try to make peace between the two teams, but don't hold me to it.
But you could be like a lifer in both places, and
I
no
could
one could get upset with you.
Yeah, you can't hate me, because I was equally.
Let's take a look at the updated standings after 4 games.
And Lindsay Boomershine is still in the lead.
Continuing to lead, 55 over here in match play. 2-2 is her record, but Shaidal Hamidi slowly inching closer.
Yeah, she's 4-0. She won the last game 2-2. I wonder if they pulled each other.
Well, we can find out.
I mean, that's been a 3-pin match. And then Sidi Rahman
Continuing.
also 4-0. 239. She's 971 for her first 4 games. That does not include the bonus. So if you look at the scores, it says block 1, 971. That is strictly the pins she earns by
Scratch.
bowling, not the bonus. So awesome, 4 games for her.
I tell you what, not that Lindsay's bowling bad.
No, I mean, she's 200, had a good 250, and when I call that 200. You know, she's staying consistent, 2-2.
But the way things are going,
The way things are going,
very good chance that
she's gonna have to pick up the pace just a smidge here.
CT could leave here tonight with the lead.
She could, yeah, going into the next 2 rounds.
Of course, 4th is Liz Johnson. Liz has already made 5 TV finals.
Oh my goodness.
5 in a row.
5 in a row. That's just amazing. I
streak
think the
ended.
record's 6.
The record was 6,
CDB?
or is 6.
Is 6 and then it's Carolyn.
It's actually 4 players who hold
really? I
that
knew-
record.
Wow.
But listen to the list, though.
Okay, here we go.
Carolyn Doran Ballard,
Okay.
Carol Giannotti,
Oh, Carol. We miss Carol.
Nikki Giannoulias,
Wow.
and Lisa Wagner.
Yeah, it's a pretty good group.
That was a list that Liz would have joined had she made TV finals last week in Detroit. Fortunately, the streak did come to an end, but she could start a new one.
She could start a new one. There's still
week.
plenty of time, and she has a couple streaks of her own that aren't too bad.
Well, 2-time reigning, of course, player of the year, and at the moment,
Got a couple U.S. Open titles.
5 of those, 3 in a row.
Yep.
Nice. You could just. Sometimes I have to stop myself and we recite so many items about Liz often because they're relevant,
Yeah.
generally, of course, and for the rare person who may or may not be familiar with Liz, and obviously we always want new fans who may, of course, be new to the sport, and so it's important to still kind of talk about all of those things. You just don't want to just throw out stats.
Yes, definitely.
I learned that a long time ago, of course, in the broadcast world. Don't just throw stats out to just throw stats. Throw them out when there's time, when they're relevant, et cetera, et cetera. But when you describe Liz, some of those things are very important to really give you the overall kind of paint the picture,
Yes.
if you will,
Yes.
of Liz Johnson. So been doing it for so long. Of course, there was a hiatus from the tour, and
Wasn't sure if he was ever going to have
correct.
that opportunity again. I mean, same thing with Kelly and Carolyn, Leanne, Kim Terrell if she was still bowling.
Absolutely.
A lot of those ladies, they never thought they were going to have to experience that again, that feeling of being on tour, feeling of winning. So, I mean, essentially, the PWBA is a big part of who Liz is. Who a lot of
She's
these
been a
women are.
bowler her whole life.
She has.
She was a rookie, and we don't want to age people, but
We were all rookies at one point.
these are the facts. She was a rookie in 1996.
I was 10.
I was 12. But she was already winning. She won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And she won the U.S. Women's Open.
She was born winning.
She had Team USA experience even prior to
Yeah.
that time in 96.
Yep. I mean, that's who she is.
At the moment, the question is for Liz, who was or including Liz, I should say, who is the greatest?
Oh, we're going to bring up the GOAT subject.
Not yet. I'm not going to bring it up right now.
Okay.
But that's the question that
That-
is generally asked, of course, as
Yes.
Liz continues to
To
do what she does.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Now, we can certainly wait. Maybe tomorrow we can talk about the.
Yeah.
I'll let you sleep on it.
Or-
Are you gonna be here, Mo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually helping out with the core stuff tomorrow.
How about that?
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to it. Matt asked me if I wanted to come hang out and with the core participants and people who are a part of that, and I said yeah, sure. I'll be here and get to meet some new people.
Well,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
They will appreciate it
Yeah.
as well. And for those of you who do not know what the core is, be sure to check out bowl.com/the core. It's an opportunity really for bowling super fans. So if you love everything about bowling, would like behind the scenes footage, information, chance to win some VIP experiences, and you could be right here, for example, at the Go Bowling Players Championship, getting some behind the scenes footage, some things that only core subscribers get.
Yeah, I think there are some like VIP passes or
There are some VIP
for the shows. So
VIP seating.
if you're a member and you're in the area, come on down tomorrow. I believe it's at 11.
Heck yeah, come on down, 11 o'clock, right
Yeah.
outside the
So I'll be
Ashwaubenon.
there. Come hang out with us.
Appreciate that.
Definitely. But Danielle's playing a really good game right now.
Indeed. Kick that 10 out.
Yeah, she's, she is awesome. She's a little quieter personality, especially on the lane. She's very focused, but she's a sweet girl, and she is a really, really good bowler.
Is there anything that you've had the opportunity to compete with her, be and bowl with her via Team USA?
I bowled with her in Colombia at the PWBA Championships in September in Cali, Colombia. We were on the same trios team. We got a bronze medal. She's great to bowl. She's a great team player. Always wanting to do the best for her teammates and her country. Which is great. And we had coffee every night, which was awesome.
I think I saw some photos
Yes.
of that.
Me, her, and Shannon O'Keefe, we were the coffee trio. Which, in Colombia, not going to get much better coffee than that. So.
Well, right now, Danielle can go back-to-back 250 games. And then in our match in front of us here, 35-36, another 3-pin match on the Holstenberg.
They flip-flop pairs. If you're
On
an
a
extra
strike.
frame, and you want to come in these extra frame pairs, there's going to be a close match somewhere. So
Well,
if you're watching,
that's
don't turn it off.
That's what we need.
That's right.
Nice game from Danielle.
Great game,
McEwen.
Danielle, 259 and a win. So 89 more pins for her as she's trying to make that run, which again, she's another person you can't count out.
Boy, the Wichita Open always comes to mind.
Oh man, she put on a show.
That'll be just one story I'll never get tired of telling.
I watched it. I was in awe, complete awe. I've never seen her bowl so good.
From a self-proclaimed player who does not throw or does not shoot honor scores often. That's what she said.
And she did it with such ease, and it was beautiful.
She never got out of being Danielle
She didn't, no.
at all. She was.
She is our robot, that's what we call her. So when she bowls bad, we reboot her. We do.
Wow.
Ask any of the girls on Team USA.
How about that?
But,
I've heard the
she-
robot part. I didn't hear the reboot.
Yeah, we reboot
Okay.
her. Shannon O'Keefe is the one that really reboots her really good. So, but, she's always working hard in her game. She's always changing. So, I mean, she's a true athlete in all aspects, not just bowling. She's just a really gifted athlete all around. So, great game, Danielle, and see if she keeps that up for one more game. Try to get closer to that number. She's about 250 out from the show, but again gained another 89 pins. So she's getting there with 12, 13 more games to go.
Shaolin has been struggling here in match play, going to fall to 0-5.
Yep.
To 194, 186, 208, 185. Again, not too terrible. I mean, this will be her lowest game.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't seem like she's getting anything going really, and that's really not hard to do on this pattern. So Leanne will finish with 202. So Sabrina can double.
Yep.
Double 3. Sorry, the camera pole was in my way. I couldn't see it.
Restrepo on 39 and 40. Oh, Looks like she's going to fall. I thought that was 202 from Shannon.
Yeah, it's 212.
That is 212. So Shannon
Rocio
Puhalski.
did have an open in the 9th frame.
She'll get another W. All right, Divis, first shot attempt. It's got a hook.
Oh, no. A little outside, so Leanne is going to win this one. And Leanne today is gone. This will be 4-1 now. She's going pretty good. Low game 201. She shot 220 last game and lost, so she's been very consistent this evening. Matches to our left have already started game 6.
Joining the booth by Brianna Cote, 2016 PWBA Lexington Open champion. Always a friendly voice to Extra Frame, and we appreciate her.
Yes, thanks for having me. I wish I was bowling, but if I'm not bowling, I like hanging out here with the meal.
I wonder, are there any news or nuggets to report from Matt Canizaro? What if we look at him? You got any nuggets to report? Anything to report? What we got?
Ooh. Unofficially. Hang on. Special guest coming to you live.
All right, Matt Canizaro with some
breaking news.
Unofficially, of course, by my Matt Canizaro, I became a writer for a reason, Math.
That
I
could
believe
be
we have a new
questionable.
leader here at this week's event, Shaidatul Hamidi, with a win over Jody Westner, 221-190. Goes around Lindsey Boomershine, but still obviously a long way to go.
Yes, definitely.
Malaysia coming on strong. C.D. Rockman, you've seen what she's been doing these last few games, so she's still in contention as well, but game to go. We'll see how it shakes out. It could be anybody's top seed at this point, but 12 games, long way to go before we get there, of course. Every win very important, every pin very important. So looking forward to seeing how things unfold the rest of the way.
Awesome.
That is Matt Canizaro,
With breaking news.
man about town. He's got the best phrase, the best sign-off in the business. That's the news for now.
That's the news for now.
We'll see you
We
on
need,
the
like,
lanes.
flashing lights of the breaking news at the PWBA
That's my
Players
guy.
Championship.
It's my guy. I will say that this guy right here, Matt Canizaro, taught me everything that I know. Undoubtedly, maybe not about the broadcast part, but definitely about the writing part, as my shoestring has now
You're
taped.
stuck.
That was weird.
Emil's not going anywhere. He's taped to the floor.
Wow, I was literally taped for about 10 seconds to the floor. But yeah, so Matty C has he has been the guy.
Yep. I met Matt. Did an article when I bowled Tournament of Americas in Florida in like 07 or something like that. I think that's the first time I actually like sat down and did an interview with Matt, and I was probably deathly terrified because I don't think I'd ever done like an article interview before. So, yeah.
All right, Shaolin will take on Shannon Puhalski, 35-36. Again, we'll keep an eye on when our official scores are in and confirm as first reported by Matt Canizaro. Shaidatul Hamidi, we said it as we looked at the standings before.
We're saying they're creeping.
Hamidi was creeping up there.
Yeah,
Definitely
same with
CT.
Mm-hmm. And now we have Rocio Restrepo and Leanne Hulsenberg. So Leanne just shifted to our right. Now that I can see who's bowling, because our other EBI tour rep, Mike Calderon, is in my way as he gives me the stare down. You're fine, you're fine. Rocio here with a not so easy spare on definitely this condition.
The old 278
Yeah, that
for the righties.
Coming. An easy spare.
Shaolin starts with an 8-pin, and when you're struggling, trying to get something going, the last thing you want to see is an 8-pin.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Nice spare. She'll take
Slides it over. Yeah.
She'll take it.
Doesn't have to look pretty as long as they fall down.
Final game, folks. Game 6 of 6 tonight.
Yep, but 6 of 18 match play.
Correct.
So we'll be a third of the way done after tonight.
take a look at our schedule one more time. Bright and early tomorrow, again, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. For round 2 of match play. Round 3 will begin at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, once those 6 games are complete,
we will know who the top 4 are for our live show. And if you're in the area and you haven't signed up for the Pro-Am tomorrow night,
There is one
I'm
tomorrow.
sure there's still spots available for the 7 p.m. Pro-Am. You may luck out and bowl with some of these ladies who are bowling right now.
Owski off the strike here. McEwen, early double in her match against Sabrina Divis.
Keeping that momentum going from the last 2 games.
Do you have a preferred format, Bree? Do you like kind of the round robin match play, and when you can get into some majors, or?
I enjoyed the round robin match play of all 16 bowling when the first year when it, you know, I do like that there's a cashier's round before the match play cut. I'm kind of like on the bubble because like I've had success doing the top 16. I've had obviously my most success doing the top 12, and then you know the 2 groups. But I think when you can have a full round robin as opposed to just, you know, this group bowling each other and that group bowling each other, I think a lot more things can happen. It gets super exciting. So definitely the round robin match play, all round robin is my personal favorite. But you know, I think with any format, you know, has its ups and downs.
Sure.
You know, it'd be cool to see maybe this was thrown out at the Tour Championships last year, like a doubles tournament. That would be cool. A PWBA doubles tournament.
Yeah.
The men have it. You know, I don't see why we couldn't do it.
Sure.
Be something cool to do. So, I mean, I think kind of changing up a little bit is, you know, I'm thankful for this major. They added 6 more games. And then 2 more spots because last year was top 16. Last year was like a standard event from the first year. So I think they did the right thing and made it, you know, a little longer format for a major. More majors should be different and tougher and more grueling. Which, you know, this is going to be the most grueling format up until the U.S. Open.
Restrepo
mixes it up for the double. We have, oh, thought Deandra was going to start with front 5 over there, but it didn't carry the 7.
All right, let's take a look at.
We have scores up yet?
Scores here, we do.
We do. So the breaking news officially now is the new leader of Sadat Al-Hamidi. She is ahead of Lindsay Boomershine, not by much, 27, 37? 37.
37.
Yep, so still very close. Liz Johnson actually fell out of the top 4. She's only a couple back. Brittany Smith only 20 back, so things are getting interesting just after these first 6 games.
Well, we've seen Leanne Holstenberg bowl very well, and she's 4-1. She's now into the top 10. She is in 9th. Danielle McEwen gonna making the move up. In 10th. Brittany Smith, Lee Jane Sin in 7th. That's Chia in 8th. Sheena Kuhowski just, you know, inching up the leaderboard. Not going to happen, obviously, in one day for her.
She won the last 2 matches, so she's 3-2, and I think Saidotl is the only one undefeated at this point.
Well, it always helps when you can win all the matches.
Yeah, that helps so much. Loosens up that arm swing real quick. So let me check down here. Danielle's got the front 3, so she's still working off that momentum. Great shot by Shannon. Oh, Danielle with a nice shot there, leaving the 8-pin. You know, this center seems to leave a lot of 8-pins fairly easily.
Seen a few of those.
Yes. So. Garcia looking for 3. There's a trip to 4.
Good match there. Didn't realize Deandra was bowling, and again, Shy Dottle.
Yes, right there. So Deandra is up by about 23 after it would be 6. I'm pretty confident Dottle's going to pick up the 4 pin.
Hope everyone is enjoying their Friday.
Friday evening.
Hope everyone is well. Hello to Peter Potter, watching from Fresno. Last time you commented, Peter, you said it was hot in Fresno, and now it's actually, I mean, it's really hot.
105 plus, yeah. When I left Phoenix, it was 123. So
I'm so glad you said that. I got something to say.
Uh-oh.
I got a question for you, but let me get through.
Definitely.
Peter, hello. Eric, how was everything? Hope you're well. Appreciate you watching. Says he loves the commentary. That means he loves Brianna.
Oh, you're too kind.
Sal, my man, how you doing? Playing hooky. Come on, Sal. You can't be doing that, man. Cannot be doing that. Hi, Miss Brummett. Appreciate everything, of course, since you dropped off last week.
That's Sydney's mom?
That is Sydney's mom.
Hi, Karen.
And hello to Debbie.
Debbie.
We sending some warm wishes to Sabrina Davis. Okay, so Phoenix. Someone told me or mentioned the airport was shut down earlier in the week because it was too hot.
Yes, they said, thankfully it didn't happen to me because I don't know if I would have even gotten here. It's too hot and something with the air. This is what I've been told. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. Please don't quote me. That the planes have a hard time taking off in the hot air. It's not that the tires melt, you know. So something along the lines of that. So yeah, it was very toasty the last 2 days I was home. I came here and I about froze because it was 75. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's freezing here.
Wow.
I like the heat. I don't like 123 degrees.
Well, you're okay with like 108.
Yeah, like.
You're used to, like you were.
I'm just used to it.
You're from the
I'm from it, so right. it takes a lot to really bother me. If you have leather seats in your car, I'm sorry. You're gonna probably lose a layer of
skin. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
But yeah, it was toasty, and the weather here has been beautiful. See it, Charlene? Great attempt at that. I think Charlene's gonna need to regroup after these 6 games.
Well, that's no doubt.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of finish strong. You know,
Do
try
what you
to
can.
Get some type of positive
yeah,
note.
Learn from something. Maybe what I could have done differently. Play the lanes a little differently. Right. Maybe just execute it a little bit better. So there's no doubt in my mind she'll change things up in the morning.
Put the key in, lock it up, throw it away.
So Deandra just opened actually against Seidotl.
Opened in the 8th frame.
Opened in the 8th. She's still slightly ahead, but Seidotl is working on a strike, so we'll see what happens over there. Great shot by Lee and 4-bagger. Or as they like to say on TV, a ham bone.
Ham bone. Shout out to Rob Stone.
Yeah.
Meaty. You can follow along, of course, folks, on live scoring.
Live scoring, which is awesome. So if you can't, your favorite player is not on the live pairs, you can keep track of them. So very thankful to have that this week.
Kewen has gone merchant front 3, 9 spare, 9 spare. Sabrina Davis, just her second strike of that match, sandwiched in between 4 consecutive 9 spares. Spare here from Shaolin Zulkifli. Right, Shaolin, for those of you who may not know, of course, she was here in the States for a little bit, and again, not to age people, but about a decade ago.
Yeah.
She was in made back-to-back years at U.S. Women's Open show. She was semifinalist a couple times, I believe. Her and Missy Parkin at one point were roommates.
Yes, they were.
As well, so they know one another, of course, very well. Malaysia actually went to Southern California
Before
first
they-
to practice and get with Misty a little bit before Wichita, for example. But Shaolin was a full-on legend,
Yeah.
and she still is.
She still is, and I think she has 1 or 2 kids. I don't know. I know
At least one.
at least one. Yeah. So she is a mom. Like a few ladies out here.
Mhm.
So could have shifted towards family for a little bit before getting back out here, which she had that time to do during that off time. So
She was kind of retired for a little
Yeah.
bit, and wasn't bowling for a few years, and the last couple, I think she's kind of got back at it, of course, and it's good to see her bowling, and still really, to me, and obviously I'm not from Malaysia, obviously, but to me, wow, will the 8-pin, or excuse me, 9-pin go?
no.
It touched it. I don't know what pin that was that did touch it, but she hit him so hard that,
Yeah,
my goodness.
I don't think she's very happy about that shot. just by what happened to get here.
Yeah.
Saidal actually just opened in the 9th frame. She missed the 310.
And so finishing up the Zulkifli portion,
Mhm.
it's got to be cool for the other 5 players, for example, that are here from Malaysia, to have someone like Shaolin, who
Yeah, definitely.
has really been, obviously, to all these places kind of where the younger ladies on the team are trying to get to.
Mhm.
I mean, it's got to be incredible. And then just to think, she was winning titles at 15 and 16 years
Yeah,
old.
she's been through it. And some of the ladies who have maybe made the show have asked her, what advice can you give me to, get me through this, or, because making that first TV show, it's overwhelming and it flies by. So, any advice, they may need from her, look up to her for some guidance. So that's great that they have her, and she's a sweet lady. She invited me to Malaysia already, and I was like,
How about
oh,
that?
yeah, sure, I'll be right there. So, definitely.
Well, it looks like Shy Donald making her first loss here.
Yeah, and then I'm also looking down there. Slightly close match too between Maria Rodriguez and Lindsay Boomershine as well. Lindsay does have a double. May not be as close as I was gonna say now. We'll find out.
Well, let's check it out.
So Deandra actually just washed out in the first ball in the 10th.
Well,
If she gets 3, if she doesn't spare it, essentially, Saidal can strike out and win.
that is correct.
Is that correct?
That is it.
My math is correct.
She would have 201
Mm-hmm.
if she gets just the count, essentially.
Yes, she would force. She would
Shot that
force Saidal to
Keithley.
strike out. So she's shooting the spare right now, and she spares it.
There it is. Of course.
Stay behind the foul line, and she will give Saidal her first loss.
Boomershine.
We could have a flip-flop, depending on what maybe CD's doing. It's official, Deandra did beat Saidal. So, folks, we have a 2-pin match.
We've been blessed with the close matches.
Oh, goodness.
You can only wonder what it'll be like in game 15, 16,
Oh,
17, and
man.
18.
I don't know. Just a little close there for Rocio. Spare that. light there.
It's been a fun day overall.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It's I've talked about Lindsay Boomershun, and she hasn't, hit the feature pairs here yet, as far as match play is concerned. But of course, we've talked because she's been leading in regards to she's a new mother. She had been battling a knee injury as well, so she's been taking time off. Last time she bowled was the Queens, but she led the Queens.
She did lead the Queen. She
And
bowled
then,
really well there as well.
Of course, made match play. I think lost, won a match, and then was eliminated ultimately. And now comes back, has been listening to her body, doing what she has to do to be healthy. And then comes out second major of the year just like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's like
And
picked
just
up right where you left off, right?
Goes back to business.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
When you're battling injury, you need to listen to your body, and if time off is what it takes, then unfortunately time off is what you got to do sometimes. But seems like it's paying off. So she's actually going to be shooting about 213 with a spare. Yep, 213. We could have a tie now between Leanne and Rocio. Leanne just did the first one in the 10th. Good spare by Shaolin, covering the washout. Those of you may looking for Danielle, she actually just split in the 10th for, it's going to be a 2-0. She will win that match.
Well, Matthew Canizaro has...
Matthew, is he in trouble?
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
He's shown me his math skills yet again.
Yeah, great shot by Leanne, throwing the second one in the 10th. Put some pressure there.
Based on the win-loss of game number 6, we will have a new leader again.
Same lead?
Just from a game perspective. But Lindsay Boomershun has reclaimed the lead. And looks like she will hold the first round match play lead as well. So just continuing to be impressive here this week. So, but still a long way to go.
Definitely a long way to go. 12 more games tomorrow.
All right, we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Right here, this match is a treat.
Yeah. All 3 in the 10th.
Wow.
Ooh. Can't get much better than that.
That was a great game all around.
To gain 15 bonus pins, Rocio is going to have to match it. If not, Leanne will be the winner of the 30 bonus pins.
15 bonus for a tie, 0 for a loss, of course, 30 for a W.
That's right.
In match play. Strepo, who has pured shots here in this match, is going to need a couple more. That was a very good one, and she wraps it in.
It's so easy to do. So Leanne will come away with those bonus pins as Shannon splits. Let's see here. I think she's already won the match.
Well, Zulkifli can only get to 179.
Yeah. The scoring system telling us how to pick this up is in my way of the score.
Oh, it's not going to leave. Okay.
No, not until she clears it.
Might have to make it.
Yep.
So grab the count.
She's going to need 5 pins, or sorry, 6 pins for the W, so 2 shots. I think this is our last match.
Looks like it.
Besides Rocio and her fill shot.
207-195. McEwen defeats Sabrina Davis. So been a good day for Danielle McEwen.
Yes.
On the lane to overall. Round 3 of qualifying this morning. And first round of match play here tonight. Restrepo shoots 225 in the losing effort. Pluhowski.
Yep. Makes her 10 there.
Nice packed house on hand as well here at the
it got
Ashwaubenon.
really packed in here come this evening, so that's great. So if you haven't come down, come down.
Well, you get that opportunity. Of course, it's Friday, off work, out of school. It's the summer, and then match play starts. And, we talked about players loving match play, but the fans love it.
Yes, definitely.
As well. You can really kind of see the one-on-one player versus player. I've got a lot of questions this week about trash talk.
Trash talk.
Yeah, a lot of questions. In match play, we see a lot of trash talk? Obviously, now when I'm watching, I don't really see it, but I don't know.
You're not bowling, right?
I'm not bowling. I'm not sure exactly what's going on in the trenches, and that could be like a player code thing. You want to violate the player code as well.
No. I've honestly never run into the trash talk.
Okay.
I'm sure, if your opponent needs 9, you really want them to get 8. That always crosses everybody's mind. But no, for the most part, lots of good sportsmanship out there. So, no trash talking. I'm sure if we had a more relaxed, fun exhibition type thing, there would be some trash talking. But of course on a level where it's, just for fun.
Sure.
Definitely not in competition. I can't say it hasn't happened. It hasn't personally happened around me. So if you've trash talked, I wouldn't know. I have no idea.
Shaolin will end our qualifying here.
She will.
Like she had tried something, moved in, tried a different ball just to
get something going. Just try something. Get some information for tomorrow.
Exactly.
So shake these 6 games off.
193-167. Pluhowski defeats Zulkifli. The voice you hear right now is Tennille Milligan.
Thank you for spending the day with us, and we'll see you tomorrow for more exciting competition at the Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship. Good night, everybody. Be safe, be good.
That is our Director of Operations, Tennille Milligan. Big thanks to all of our staff here. Tennille, Assistant Tournament Director Kathy Waka, our Tour Coordinator and On-Site Merchandise Manager Kathy Kavicki. Of course, Jason Thomas, who spent a lot of time at Bowl Expo this week. And
he comes back tomorrow?
Well, he was
or
supposed to be here today.
Okay.
But he has had the worst luck with travel the last 2
Poor
weeks.
Guy.
So
okay.
Storms out in Nashville, got
doesn't
rebooked.
Help.
And
yeah.
So hopefully he'll make it here by the night, but he will be here tomorrow.
Okay.
Bree, I want to thank you, of course,
Thanks
for
for
joining
having
us.
me. I enjoyed it. So it was fun.
We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, of course. Obviously, if you've got some time, want to hop on, we'd love to have you.
Definitely.
So the viewers
Just
would love it as well.
Run me down. If you're around town, come say hi.
Absolutely. So for Brianna Cote and Matt Cannizzaro, my name is Emil Williams Jr. Don't forget all of your results, standings, updates on pwba.com/live. We'll have a brief recap story for you on the site and on social media, of course, as well. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, round 2 of match play will begin right here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So we look forward to talking with you then. Until then, have a safe night, folks. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll talk to you soon. It's the 2017 Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship. Bowl TV on Extra Frame.